We're back on the Good Morning Artesia radio show. Jessica's here from the chamber. You all recovered from the weekend?
I'm still working on it. Still working on it. I had yesterday off, but had to go to Lubbock. So it was a long day in the car.
Yeah.
But it was good.
The 2 days of balloon liftoffs.
Yes.
Which was awesome.
2 of the 3. Yes, sir. It was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful weather. We had so much fun. We ended up with 15 of the 18 pilots that showed up, which is still awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some family emergencies and illnesses and things like that happen, which is always unfortunate, but we understand.
Yep.
And yeah, no, we had a beautiful, like you said, beautiful weather Saturday morning and Sunday morning. The food truck vendors were super happy with their turnout. We had the cute 360 photo booth, that goes around you and plays music and bubbles.
I saw one of those photographs on your guys' page.
Yes, they do. They do a really good job. They just joined the chamber, and they'll come to birthdays and weddings and all kinds of things. And we just thought it would be really cute to have them at the draw with all the balloons and inflating in the background. And so we were happy we got Smokey Bear behind us in our video. It was cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was fun.
That's pretty cool.
We heard there was from multiple people, is the most people they've ever seen at the draw, which makes us feel good. All the warm fuzzies that people came out for it. It's great.
They did. There was one couple that I talked to that they said they liked the music and the food trucks at the draw.
Yes.
They like that. So
thank you, Gene.
Well, I thank you for having the food trucks. I had plenty of coffee.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it was
I got
it was
coffee
a good
from
addition.
one of them on Saturday, and then I got one from the other truck on Sunday. So I went to the 2 different trucks, but that seemed to be popular.
They were popular. They were busy. I took my kiddo to grab a burrito one morning, and it was busy.
It was busy.
It was long lines, and that was good, though. I mean, we had 6 food trucks on Saturday and 4 on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
They came back out, and yeah, I did hear the same thing. People loved the music. I will say on Saturday, I think I parked too far away to hear it, but on Sunday, I parked at 13th at the old Shop and Go parking lot, and I could hear it.
Wow.
So that's good.
Well, I found a high spot.
Oh, nice.
So I hope that the speakers with the sound would carry.
Yeah.
Have you told Debbie that HF Sinclair has to have a community party every year, Balloons and Tunes weekend at Heirloom Acres with the band and the balloon glow?
That was really
Wasn't that an awesome event? Yeah.
Yes. I could not believe how many people we were able to capture with that cute concert, and the pilots were so thrilled. I mean, I heard from one pilot who last year was his first year here, so he did the glow fire concert from the bowl when we had the growl, and then he did this year as well. And he was my pilot he's up for like actually glowing, like inflating the envelope and everything, but the wind was too bad that night. But anyways, he said he really enjoyed it over there better, because he said the bowl was really cool, it was really neat, but we were like way in the back, kind of like second thought, whereas like this, we were right there, right behind the band. The community was, you could see their faces. Yep. You could see their the kids, and it was just so cool. They loved it. I got to be a pilot. That was really fun.
I saw that. I think we interviewed you.
You did. I was a pilot for all of 37 minutes.
How long have you been ballooning? 37 minutes is what you said, I think. It was great. And then there was the one guy from Artesia, grew up in Artesia, and I said, yes. I bet you're happy to come back. And he said, well, it's okay to come back for a couple days.
Yeah.
I didn't quite know how to take that. I think he was being he's glad to not live in Artesia.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
But he's glad to come back for the balloon fiesta.
Yes, so coming back every year. He was good, and that's Robert Fear. He was our weather guy this year. Weather Meister. There's a guy apparently called the Balloon Meister that I learned this term this year, and I said, well, what does a Balloon Meister do? Oh, well, they say thanks to all the sponsors, and they do this, and they, hey, watch out for this area, don't land over here, this landowner doesn't like it, whatever they call them, PZs, prohibited zones.
Okay.
I think something like that. Anyway, and I was like, oh, Well, that's what we are at the chamber. We always come in and say thank you to, all the things. So anyway, and then you turn it over to the weather guy, and he talks about the weather. He has all the special apps, and they can tell you what the wind is doing at different heights as well. So that's really neat. It was interesting on Sunday. The wind was so calm right on the ground, and then literally like not even 100 feet, because I can't remember how tall Smokey is, but at the top of his hat, it was blowing him sideways. So literally whatever that is, maybe 100 feet up at the most, and it was already going. And then even farther up, we heard one of the pilots say she got up high enough to go about 20 miles an hour.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and she was booking it, but then by the time she landed, it was only 3.5.
It's slowed down.
Yeah, so she had an hour flight, and she ended up out at the river out here.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was awesome. Really cool. So anyway, it's really interesting to see the, how windy it is at different altitude. I don't know. It's just kind of cool. It's really cool.
Well, I do want to mention, because we do have the answer on this, in case anybody saw any pictures or heard anything, there was one balloon on Sunday morning. They were trying to land at the bank on Main Street.
Yes, in the street right there between First National and Smokes to Go.
Right. And I don't know what the proper term would be, but they came in contact with the power line.
Yes.
And nobody got hurt. The basket sitting on the ground. The balloon was
draped over
the lines, and it took the power out in a little bit of that neighborhood there. But nobody was hurt, and hopefully they were able to get the balloon off okay without damaging
too
it
much
too
damage.
much.
Yeah, we got over there, and while it was very, very, very scary for those involved and people that saw it happen or whatever, man, I cannot begin to tell you the amount of help this community came out. I mean, of course, we had Eddy County Fire, Artesia Police. I can't remember if even the sheriff might have been out there. I'm not sure. The mayor came out there. We were all, of course, out there. Their crew was out there. Their sponsor was out there. I mean, everybody just came in. Excel Energy came in. They cut the power off. So we learned a interesting fact that we have here in Artesia with our power lines. And it's something that they do this annually at Balloon Fiesta. And so the power lines, if they get shorted out for any reason, it's about 5 or 10 seconds, and it surges again automatically. Just how it's set up, it's what it does to try to restore the power. While I understand that if my microwave goes out and then in 10 seconds it comes back on, oh, cool, they got it fixed, whatever. It's like a surge automatic protection. However, that's not necessarily a good thing for a pilot. If they're in contact with those lines and they're trying to climb out of the basket or something and it surges, they could get electrocuted. So that is one thing that they were telling us. You know what? We should probably talk to both CVE and Excel next year to take those precautions on, that not that it. I mean, I know it happens more prevalently in Albuquerque, not necessarily because they're bad pilots or anything, just because there's that many more balloons and that many more power lines. And so we haven't seen it in Artesia.
I think this is the first time I can recall that.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying. It's been almost 40 years, and this is the first time it's happened. And it totally is an accident. It really was. It was no fault of anybody. It literally was an accident. Just like driving your car and you don't see something and you hit a curb or you hit whatever. Yeah. It happens every day. So,
well, the good news was nobody was hurt.
Nobody was hurt.
Power went off, and then they were able to get the basket and the passengers out, and get the envelope off the lines, and then get the power restored to the neighborhood.
It took a bit to make sure the lines were not hot anymore. I think that was what took the longest, was just making 100% sure that those, the power was out, but the lines were still hot. Right. And so he couldn't climb out yet. So it was good. I'm just so thankful for our community. It wasn't people coming out to gawk at it and take the pictures and, oh my gosh, what's going on? All the things. It was like, yeah, you had some of those, but mostly everyone was stopping to say, are you okay? Can I help? What can I do? Once they got that envelope off the power lines, I kid you not. all the emergency responders, everybody was just helping with that balloon, helping turn it inside out or whatever we need to do, helping get it straight. They had the pilot, they had the pilot's family. I got the bottom, I got the top. Let's pull it this way. Let's do it,
Yep.
and everybody came in to help. It was really cool.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
it was amazing to see our community do that.
But I guess the only thing that didn't happen was the, yes.
Just to let you know, we had a balloon get caught in the power line one time before.
Okay.
When I worked at the chamber a long time ago, Richard was in it.
Oh, Richard Price was in it? Okay, so he can tell the story.
Yeah, we'll have to have him on.
I don't think he's ever really in one of them. Jeannie called to remind me.
Yeah.
Like, hey, remember
It's rare,
It's very
but
rare
it has happened
that was back in like the
back in the 90s at some point.
90s or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a
Okay.
while. It's been a long time.
Well,
So we're thankful for that, for
That's
sure.
right.
But yes, we are thankful everybody was okay. That's the biggest thing is, just like I said, accidents happen and,
Yep.
it was.
But it's a good thing. Well,
yeah.
Well, I guess Richard survived that incident because
did.
he's still around.
He's still around. Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Okay,
Well,
anyhow.
going to those flights is a lot of fun. I guess the only thing that really got kind of messed up was it was really really windy on Friday.
Yes.
So the pilots at the schools, they didn't get to do as much or anything at all at the schools.
Yeah, they met Friday morning, and of course, everyone already kind of knew we're not going to fly today. It was just too windy.
Yeah.
And so what they end up doing is they still asked the pilots to still go to their particular schools and do something. And so I ended up at Roselawn helping out with one of the pilots there, and she's so funny. She had a door on her basket, which is really awesome. And we were, at the smaller school, and so it was really neat to be able to, Haley and I both were there, and she let every single kid that wanted to come in the basket, get on a little step stool thing. Actually, she used a cooler, and pull on the burners.
Oh, okay.
And so they all got to hit the fire, and it was keeping everybody warm. And
That's neat.
sometimes lifting off from the schools is fun. However, once you're gone, right?
Mhm.
And this was she got to spend some time there. She got to talk about ballooning. She got to let them do something fun. And I don't know. It was just, I think it was, she even said sometimes stuff like that is way more fun than actually flying.
Yeah.
Because just seeing their faces, and she took a really neat time-lapse video on her phone. She just set it there and watched all their faces go, and
That's cool.
it was neat. So that was what happened at Roselawn. I know Yeso, their pilot, they were supposed to have two and ended up with one, but and Yeso's a big school, 500 and some kids, I think, and he had every single one of their captive attention, and he was telling this story, and they were just like, oh my goodness. And the principal came to him later, and she says, man, that was amazing. Our kids actually learned something today, and
That's
It's
great.
fun to see the balloon inflate and take off. That's cool too. So at least they did something at the schools and
Sure.
helped out.
Yeah, no, that's great. And the
Yeah.
pilots love telling stories.
Yes.
They love
do.
talking about the balloons and
Yes.
the stories and
Yeah.
And that's
what
always
was
a good thing.
the first? There was a chicken, a duck, and a. Man,
you're trying to remember.
why
a
do I
joke?
not remember this? No, those are the first three live things that they sent up in a balloon. Very, very, very
Oh.
from the very, very beginning.
Okay.
It was three animals,
Uh
and they all came back down, and they all survived.
huh. Okay.
But they sent animals up before they sent
Well, of
humans.
course. That's a lot more expendable than people.
Yeah.
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 So, well, good. Well, we're going to take a break for news, and a few more people want you to vote for them.
Yes.
And then we'll be back, and we'll talk about some voting stuff when we come back, because it is
Sounds
election
good.
day.
It's election day.
Yes.
I like your our red, white, and blue. We match.
I just have red.
Oh, you have red and black.
Red and black. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh, a rooster, a duck, and a sheep.
we're the first animals in
animals.
a hot air balloon.
Yes.
Okay. Good deal.
Yeah.
A sheep
A sheep.
named Dolly? No, I'm just...